We're ready? Okay. So the next item on our agenda is construction support services for our upcoming wharf project. As you know, the port has engaged Moffitt Nickel to prepare the design documents for the wharf project, and now we're looking to extend that contract for a monitoring, to monitor compliance as construction phase begins. So in your packet, there's a resolution, 5-2017, at a cost not to exceed $599,200. Rich, I don't know if you have anything specific you wanted to share about that. It's something that we have done on the other side of the river when we did the Rensselaer project, and it's something working with John and his team that has seemed to really work well.
It's the engineer that designed the wharf is the one who knows every intimate part of the project, and the knowledge that he brings in working with our staff on all the reviews, the submittals, and the ongoing work, I think is the best value for us. Moffitt Nickel is one of our pre-qualified engineering firms. The not to exceed, I believe we can reduce the cost of that with some of the work that John Kosa will be doing on the project, the support they offer, again, I think is at this time the best value for the administration.
Okay. Anyone have any questions? No? So with that, I will take a motion to approve Resolution 5-2017.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Great, thank you. So now it's time for Richard's update.
Well, excuse me, we put the bid out for the wharf project on February 6th. We had a mandatory walkthrough of the site last Thursday. Megan, were there 8?
There was about 40 people altogether. There was between 8 and 10 firms, a mix of firms that attended.
We had them pre-register, and that part of the bid package was that the site walkthrough was part of the entire bid. You would not be your bid would not be accepted if you weren't at the site. We had several firms. They spent a lot of time both in the meeting discussions and walking the site, looking at what it is they're working with. We did receive several requests for an extension, which we are granting a 1-week extension to the response date. We gave 2-week extension. We hope at that point to still have for you in the March meeting on the 29th a recommendation on a firm to move forward.
What's the new bid date?
22nd. They cited a couple of reasons: the complicated nature of the project, but also the requirements that we put in there related to the MWBE and the service disabled veterans.
It's a big job.
Yeah, and with the phasing and a couple add-ons that we have with stormwater pollution and this and that. So the 22nd will be a response date, and we'll get right to work on it with a review. Part of the contract that you just approved, John Shermer will be working with us on all the reviews. And we hope in the middle of April to get a contractor on site and off to the building. The bid for the Big Lift Warehouse, the second phase of the entire Tiger grant, We'll be, going to bid March 17th, we hope. We're still pretty solid on that. We're pushing because we're a little bit, pushed with, the engineering firm, but it will happen. We had an on-site meeting yesterday, and there'll be 2 more companies that are gonna come in and just take a look at the rail part of that project. But I met last night with GE, the prime tenant of that new building. They're doing some in-house auditing of all of the warehousing that they have since the acquisition of Boston Power. Boston had a lot of warehouses. They just wanted to make sure that there wasn't one right here, which there's not. They assured me that we'll be moving forward within the next couple of weeks. I talked with Eric this morning, and I see no reason to not continue as we are with the with the contract being signed on the long-term lease of the building. An email this morning from our engineer at CHA. I asked for an update so we could give you some information on 700 Smith. By March 6th, they expect to have everything into the EPA. The EPA will then have 30 days to respond. If there's no response, the project is good to proceed, and we can start the cleanup of 700 Smith Boulevard.
Yeah, 30 days, you said?
The EPA would have 30 days to respond. And we can finally start, I was kind of hoping that was going to be in June of 16, but we'll then look at some contractors to be able to get in there, remove. We've been working with the railroad and some other firms as to how to remove the contaminated material. What will be the most economical way of dealing with it, and as part of our plan, once it's in place, we'll implement every step that was proposed. We met with Cargill last week. We're continuing meetings with the manager down there on extending their lease long term. We've got a few issues we're going to work through, and then we're also still working on the new terminal operating agreement. We've had several phone conferences with FedNav and Bill Ring to get to the terms we need on that. There's going to be some changes that are, we're going to develop a brand new operating agreement. The one that is currently in place has a lot of language that needs to be changed, and it'll be a brand new clean document that we have. We're still working on, we've had the building appraised next door. The DEC building, the lease is up on that in April. We're working with the DEC to come to terms for another long-term agreement. There are no options moving forward on the original one that expires. So we've had it appraised. We're hoping that we can nail that down pretty quick. That's about it for now.
What about, what is your timing on our designs for the other warehouse?
The engineering for the other, I'm sorry, the
shed one, right?
Shed one, the engineering we have projected at beginning, we'll go out to contract on that in September. Hoping for a 6-month turnaround from the engineering firm, so that in early 18 we can go out to bid for the rebuilding of that warehouse. And I did receive from Westway a letter requesting the 5-year extension on their lease beginning in September of 2018. We met with them, and one of the terms was that they had the automatic renewal, but there was another clause in the lease that said that we could mandate some maintenance on the facility. We met with them and brought to their attention our concerns about the way the place looks with the tanks and that. They've assured us that they're going to remove a tank, paint the other tanks, spruce the place up nicely, and we'll monitor that as we go along. They've also told us to give us the go-ahead for the new pipes that are going to be going out to the new portion of the dock. They had agreed early on that they would pay for the additional engineering to bring that pipe into the new dock surface. John had further conversations with them yesterday, and they want to even go further with stainless steel piping instead of the piping that they have. So we're moving forward with that, and we'll get together once we have a full plan of what it is they want with the 8 or 10-inch pipe, and then we'll have Moffett Nickel work on that.
All right, so on to Tony to discuss the first month of the year.
Okay, thank you, Chairperson Stevens. Everybody have their copy of ships, barges, tonnage report. All right. Before we talk about where we are, I'd like to go back in history. It's always good to take a look at what the past is and was. If you go back to 2009 through 2013, we established that 52 ships and barges were an annual average. And then in 14, we had our banner year where we hit 94 ships and barges. Then in 15, we had an outstanding year, 69, down 15 from the banner year, but still up from the average. And then last year, we called it better than outstanding. We did 77 for a 12% increase. And if you go down towards the bottom, about 4/5 of the way down, you take a look, you'll see the last year 6 ships and barges, and this year we handled 8. Then if you jump up to the top right and take a look at that pie chart, the maroon are the 7 heavy lift and project cargo vessels and the 1 barge. Number of HRSG, heat recovery, steam generating shipments both to Moxie Freedom in the Wilkes-Barre, PA area, and also Lordstown, Ohio. Thanks to the excellent clearances that the CSX railroad has, we're able to penetrate further into the overall market. And if you would turn to the second page, tonnage report monthly. We're down about 515 tons, and that's primarily due to the fact that last year we had a wood pulp ship with about 3,500 tons. But this year, with the heavy influx of heavy project cargo, we're up around 3,000 tons versus last year, or about 118%. And so we go back in history, our best tonnage years have been in 2014, 570,000 tons. And then in 16 and 10, we hit 451,000. Now, and this is so far the 1 month versus last year. That's where we are. And as we look down the road, where we're going to be, say the first quarter, that's about as far as we can project out at this point in time. We'll be running a little bit ahead of last year, 19 versus 18. So we're positioned to hopefully reach last year's figure or exceed it. So any questions on the numbers or anything like that? Okay. If you would turn to the last sheet, the longshore hours, and this is when Bill Ring of Federal Marine Terminals usually gives his presentation. he's away, so looking at an increase of about 3,100 longshore hours, and what's that due to? Of course, heavy lift project cargo, which brings a lot of terminal work with it, and also we had 2 vessels that stayed 4 or 5 days, so that also has a positive impact. We have a wind energy project coming up for the 3rd or 4th quarter this year to Vermont. So, and the interesting part about this is in the past when we handled wind energy projects, we would only handle the nacelles or the motors and the blades. But this time we're going to get the towers, the blades, and the nacelles. So that's a different situation than the past. And, quickly, that's it.
Anyone have any questions for Rich or Tony? No. Okay, is there any other? Yes. Any other business to discuss? Okay,
Not just really for business to discuss, but I think one thing we talked about is just trying to get kind of like a one-page financial summary every month. And I know it's only 1 month and it's early, actually in February, even to do January, so we're moving forward.
Yeah, that's something we're doing. We've, the bulk of January and February we're taking up with closing out 16 and transitioning everything over to 17. But yeah, that's exactly right. That's what we're doing on a big basis, sir.
So the next board meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, March 29th at 12:30 p.m. That is a change. We pushed it back a week in order to receive and review the construction bids. So with that, I will take a motion to adjourn. So moved. Second? Second. All in favor? Aye.